Data really excites me because it's information. So as human beings, we have a tendency to go around having a whole bunch of common sense. And our common sense is the thing that we use to make decisions, all kinds of decisions, from personal decisions to which house to buy, to which car to buy, to which friends to have, to which job we should take, to which clients we should take on. And it's kind of based on a mishmash soup of things that have worked in the past, things that our parents taught us, things that we learned once when we were at school, conversations that we had when we were kids, conversations that we had in our first job. All of those things come together that give us an internal sense of best practice. However, our internal sense of best practice is not always true north. And because we have this sense of competence, we know how to make decisions, we don't necessarily entertain new data, new information that could inform the decisions that we're making. And as the world changes and grows at the phenomenal rate that it is currently, we can't afford to not entertain new information, because things are not the way they were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 hours ago. The rate of change is phenomenally huge. So enabling new data to come in to your decision-making process is so important. So let's take, for example, even how the human being is designed. So we are very great sensory creatures in the world, our very biology. However, although our brains tell us that we've got this, we're the ones with the IQ, we're the ones with the frontal cerebral cortex, we're very clever at analysis and we're very clever at making decisions and we're the boss of all of that. What we fail to remember is that as sensory creatures, we're actually pretty low down on the scale of evolution. Dogs have the ability to smell far superior to us. Eagles have the ability to see far superior to us. Certain insects see completely different spectra of color to what we see. So we forget that our sensory data input devices are designed for a specific kind of way of living in the world. And we're in a position currently as a species where we are trying to transcend those things. As that sensory data comes into us from the world, it has already been sorted by the limitations of our sensory input. How much light we can see, how much we can, the frequencies we can hear, the temperatures and textures that we can tolerate, and so on throughout our bodies. Then that information is sorted at the base of the spine, at least at the base of the brain, at the top of the spine. Only a certain amount of information gets through to the next piece of the brain, which is going to tell us how we need to survive, when we need to eat, when we need to breathe, when we need to sleep. All of those kinds of very basic animal functions that keep us alive from day to day. And then even less of that information gets through to the cerebral cortex at the front, which is that thing that makes us uniquely human, our ability to analyze. So in effect, we have all of these filters, all of these data filters built into our bodies that prevent us from seeing the big picture. And was there ever a time where it is more important for us to see the big picture? Our globe, our planet is no longer our frontier. Our atmosphere is no longer our frontier. And our galaxy has become our new frontier, our solar system. We've got Space Force stuff going on in the world. It's very exciting stuff. And we've imagined it. It's in science fiction, it's in movies. We've thought about it to some extent, but we've thought about it in the context of what it is that we know now. The more sensory information that we can gather through our add-on sensory tools like satellites, various kinds of instruments that measure all sorts of things that come into us on a daily basis from all over the world and from all over our solar system, it tells us information that we didn't know, that we couldn't have known before, because it makes use of data that was unavailable to our raw senses until we were capable of building the technology to collect that information. We have to begin to look at data that doesn't fit into our worldview, and it's going to change our minds, and we have to enable it, we have to allow it to change our minds, because it's true. So now, Jordan Peterson talks about this in the world of psychology, and he's quite unpopular with many people because he flies in the face of common sense notions that we hold currently around feminism and liberalism, for example. But he says, go and look at the studies, look at the data. You think that it is this way, but if you look at the data, you will find that it is in fact another way. So when we see what the true case is by looking at the data, hoping that our data sets are comprehensive enough to be significant, then we're going to make better decisions. And we're going to make better decisions that affect more people more positively.